Thank you to our panelists who've come to have an important conversation with us. Most importantly, I want to appreciate the families who have shown up to continue to be remarkable champions of your children and your loved ones, for being here, and in particular to California families that I was able to just talk to on the break, the families of Sammy Chapman from Los Angeles and Daniel Puerta from Santa Clarita. They are here today and are doing some incredible work to not just protect the memory and legacy of their boys, but the work that they're doing is going to protect my 9-year-old. And that is indeed why we're here. There are a couple questions that I want to ask some individuals. Let me start with a question for each of you. Mr. Citron, have you ever sat with a family and talked about their experience and what they need from your product? Yes or no?
Yes, I have spoken with parents about how we can build tools to help them.
Mr. Spiegel, have you sat with families and young people to talk about your products and what they need from your product?
Yes, Senator.
Mr. Hsu?
Yes, I just did it 2 weeks ago, for example.
I don't want to know what you did for the hearing prep, Mr. Chu. I just wanted to know if
it's
you
an example.
did anything
Senator,
in
it's an
terms
example.
of designing the product that you are creating. Mr. Zuckerberg, have you sat with parents and young people to talk about how you design product for your consumers?
Yes, over the years, I've had a lot of conversations with parents.
You know, that's interesting, Mr. Zuckerberg, because we talked about this last night and you gave me a very different answer. I asked you this very question.
Well, I told you that I didn't know what specific processes our company had.
No, Mr.
for
Zuckerberg,
answering.
you said to me that you had not.
I must have misspoke.
I want to
I
give
mean,
you the room to misspeak, Mr. Zuckerberg, but I asked you this very question. I asked all of you this question, and you told me a very different answer when we spoke. But I won't belabor it. Can I, a number of you have talked about X, Ms. Giacarino, have you talked to parents directly, young people, about designing your product?
As a new leader of X, the answer is yes. I've spoken to them about the behavioral patterns because less than 1% of our users are in that age group, but yes, I have spoken to them.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Spiegel, there are a number of parents whose children have been able to access illegal drugs on your platform. What do you say to those parents?
Senator, we are devastated that we cannot
To the
prevent-
parents, what do you say to those parents, Mr. Spiegel?
I'm so sorry that we have not been able to prevent these tragedies. We work very hard to block all search terms related to drugs from our platform. We proactively look for and detect drug-related content. We remove it from our platform, preserve it as evidence, and then we refer it to law enforcement for action. We've worked together with nonprofits and with families on education campaigns because the scale of the fentanyl epidemic is extraordinary. Over 100,000 people lost their lives last year, and we believe people need to know that one pill can kill. That campaign reached was viewed more than 260 million times on Snapchat. We also
Mr. Spiegel, there are two fathers in this room who lost their sons. They're 16 years old. Their children were able to get those pills from Snapchat. I know that there are statistics, and I know that there are good efforts. None of those efforts are keeping our kids from getting access to those drugs on your platform. As a California company, all of you, I've talked with you about what it means to be a good neighbor and what California families and American families should be expecting from you. You owe them more than just a set of statistics. And I look forward to you showing up on all pieces of this legislation, all of you, showing up on all pieces of legislation to keep our children safe. Mr. Zuckerberg, I want to come back to you. I talked with you about being a parent to a young child who doesn't have a phone, is not on social media at all. And one of the things that I am deeply concerned with as a parent to a young black girl is the utilization of filters on your platform that would suggest to young girls utilizing your platform the evidence that they are not good enough as they are. I want to ask more specifically and refer to some unredacted court documents that reveal that your own researchers concluded that these face filters that mimic plastic surgery negatively impact youth mental health indeed and well-being. Why should we believe that because that you are going to do more to protect young women and young girls when it is that you give them the tools to affirm the self-hate that is spewed across your platforms? Why is it that we should believe that you are committed to doing anything more to keep our children safe?
Sorry, there's a lot to unpack there.
There
We
is
give
a lot.
people tools to express themselves in different ways, and people use face filters and different tools to make media and photos and videos that are fun or interesting across a lot of the different products that are
Plastic
here.
surgery pens are good tools to express creativity.
Senator, I'm not speaking to that
Skin lightening
specifically.
tools are tools to
Senator,
express
I'm
creativity. This
not-
is
I'm
the
not
direct
defending-
thing that I'm asking
Yeah, I'm not
about.
defending any specific one of those. I think that the ability to kind of filter and edit images is generally a useful tool for expression. For that specifically, I'm not familiar with the study that you're referring to, but we did make it so that we're not recommending this type of content to teens.
I made
on
no
our-
reference to a study, to court documents that revealed your knowledge of the impact of these types of filters on young people generally, young girls in
Senator,
particular.
I
and
disagree with that characterization. I think that there have
with
been
court
hypotheses.
documents?
I haven't seen any document that
Oh,
says
okay,
that,
Mr. Zuckerberg, my time is up. I hope that you hear what is being offered to you and are prepared to step up and do better. I know this Senate committee is going to do our work to hold you to greater account. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator Tillis?